Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, Spirit Bus fam, Spirit Bus 33 fam. Thank you for being here. Episode number 28 has been such a journey. As always, major gratitude. Every time that I see that someone spends time listening to my creative expression, I just there's so much gratitude. This is a very healing space for me, and just to think that there might be somebody out there that this is helpful for them, it's just beyond amazing. So much appreciate you. First, I'd like to just take a moment here and send out some healing energy full of abundance in all ways, full of everything that is needed to the southern and northern states impacted by the storms and fire. Really just taking a moment, visualizing that energy being sent over there, making sure that as a collective, we're sending that energy out. It's important that we're taking the time out to send our fellow earth travelers here, some very important collective energy. Okay, fam. All right. So, as a reminder, we're practicing becoming our favorite version of ourselves. We're releasing our past. We're releasing, the desire that our past could have been or should have been this way or that way. We're standing in validation, of course, but we're having an understanding of where our circle of control is now. We have no ability to make our past into beautiful circumstances. As far as I'm aware, there is not a practice to rewrite our past. So we're choosing daily what we want to embody now within our circle of control in this present moment. We may be choosing to be the embodiment of strength, of thankfulness, joy, gratitude. We're going to align with the frequencies that help us overcome, what has happened in the past, but really overcoming where we go in a dissociated state. We are noticing these automatic states of being for what they are, these automatic behaviors. They once brought us safety. They're what we developed to help us escape. And now they're working against us. Now they're no longer needed. Things like checking out, looping in these nonstop intrusive thoughts, self-medicating, hand to mouth and excess, all sorts of different hand to mouth things there, gossiping, talking shit, anger, freeze, flight, people pleasing. We could keep going, but all in all, it's the constant need to avoid just being, to avoid the uncomfortability that we feel inside. We're noticing becoming flooded. We're paying attention now to our physical responses. We're connecting not only to our internal state, but our external state at the same time. We're able to hold that framework. We're aligning with our own truth. We're speaking out our own truth. We're learning to not take anything personal, fam. We're stepping out of the turmoil of our worth being dependent on another's actions, either good or bad. We're releasing assumptions. Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, shares, we make the assumption that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge. He goes on to say, this is why we have a fear of being ourselves around others, because we think everyone else will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. As we do ourselves, fam. Sit with that for a moment. Take a moment as we do ourselves. Let that sink in. Pause the recording if needed, but take some inventory on how you're judging yourself, how you're abusing yourself. It's time to set your assumptions about others down and truly focus on being your own best friend. Treat yourself the way that you would desire to treat the love of your life. And to learn this, to practice this, we need to cultivate space to do so through being present. And in order to be present, we have to practice. I like what Sanaya Roman says from Personal Power Through Awareness. She shares, knowing who you are requires reflective time, quiet time. Time alone is some of the most important time you can create. I'm not speaking of time in which you are frantically thinking of something, but peaceful time in which you are not thinking of anything. And I've heard this a lot. I've heard this, that some think, well, this quiet time, it's impossible. Not for me. I can't do it. I have too many thoughts. My concentration's, too bad. I've heard these things before. And if this sounds like you, reminder that this takes practice. I'm going to share with you a technique that I enjoy doing that helps me, focus and helps me enter in this state of presence. And please take it, adapt it, make it into whatever you need it to be. If it aligns with you, if it's works for you, is that I have taken part of what my mom did for me as young to help me fall asleep at night, have also taken it from different influential people, and kind of adapted it all into this practice for myself. So again, add in, individualized approach to this, but I start with, I have this love for Mother Earth, for Gaia, and all of the root systems, below us, the electromagnetic field that charges us, like all of the wisdom, beneath the surface of the earth that has seen it all, that's seeing it all. So I think about all of that energy that is there for us, through Mother Earth. And I really feel that, just tap into feeling how powerful that energy is. And as I'm kind of feeling that swirl, and visualizing that energy really, really, becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And then it comes up from the earth. And then I start with my toes and feel it go into my toes, then my feet, the heels and my ankles. And that healing energy is giving me the wisdom, of the birds, of the trees, of the flowers, of the grass, of, all of Mother Earth. It's providing me with that wisdom and healing energy and go all the way up. And when each body part is really focusing on feeling that part, is when you're thinking about your ankles, is you're feeling a tingle or, whatever sensation you end up getting when you're moving through those body parts. So you're really maintaining this focused state of presence through it. And you go up through your body, again, adapt it to what you need. You can go through your meridian system. What you can also bring, some awareness to different parts of your body that you might be noticing feel uncomfortable, bringing, that healing energy there, stay there longer if you needed. And then and go all the way up, to the top of the head, the crown chakra here, and then up into, where I picture the divine. I picture all of this all knowing divine source energy, you know, wisdom here. And so then it is completely coming down, cleansing my aura, cleansing the energy around me, and then go back down through your head, you know, all with all that wisdom, with all that love, with all that guidance back down and then ending at your toes. And the practice in itself, of course, that that can take a little while. And it may not be something that I'm able to get through all in one sitting, is there may be something that pulls my awareness away, that I have to attend to. But most of the time, giving myself time to get through the process, something that has been extremely helpful is that while doing it, it doesn't mean for me that all thoughts other than just being completely present in that are going to just, disappear. In fact, in the beginning, they didn't disappear at all, you know? So it's like, let's say you're at your knees and a thought comes in and it distracts you. You observe the thoughts. Is it an immediate need? Did you leave the stove on? And then let it float out. And keeping a journal next to you, is very helpful. Some amazing downloads, some amazing uh, ideas, whatever word you want to describe them, might come through you during that time. And so if there's like, oh my gosh, this is, the title of my new book, this is whatever it is, write it down in your journal. Or if it's something you really don't want to forget later, don't try to hold on to it and then sit in that anxious energy of, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget this. Then that's going to, not allow you to be present within yourself for that activity. And again, of course, this, is not the only practice, is that there's so many practices. Part of this I too draw from studying with a person a teacher that was heavily into Vipassana meditation. So there's that route to mindfulness. Is that remember that there's not a one size fits all here. Is take it, adjust it. There's things that really work for some people, so they will speak very boldly and like, this is the only way. And if that ends up being the way for you, amazing. If it doesn't, remember that we're not adding shame because their way isn't our way. That's not what we're doing. There's no pill to do this. There's nothing that I have found. There's no instant, cure, to be present all the time. It's a practice. If you were to ask me, or many people go run 10 miles right now, I would need to practice, to need to train to be able to do that. So we're training for a more present state of being. So then now, okay, so you have that to help, that and other practices to help you strengthen your ability to be present. But what do you do when you catch yourself offline, so to speak? Like you kind of awaken in like halfway through a pizza or indulging in some kind of other dissociative pleasures that are done in excess. First, I'm going to say first is immediately love yourself. You've never been this version of you before. Do not sit in any shame. You are growing, you are learning. And then with love, like gently guide yourself in the opposite direction. Observe your emotions. Really just a soft nudge of like, hey, let's move over here. And I want to be, keep it real with you, is that I know that this is hard to do in mid chaos, mid drunk, mid fuck, mid high. When the awareness comes in, you may really feel like you're unable until you're able to reset after, the activities completed, so to speak. And if that's the case, okay, same, no shame. Really try to spend some time and reflect, what would you like to do different? What are you going to do next time? I didn't have this part planned out, but um, I've been doing some, TikTok lives for sunrises and such, and some mindfulness practices. And today I did my first like TikTok live with my face, and speaking into it. And luckily I had a fam in there, family members, so that was great to have, there that. But then I also had this other person who was very interactive, which also helped. And uh, and then she provided me with this little nugget that I'm going to pass along. Is she noticed that I was using the word like I'm going to try, or I'm trying to, or I don't know, because I wasn't all the way aware. Well, I wasn't really aware of that at all. I was focusing on not saying good morning, because I'm trying not to use the word morning. But she really helped me, have awareness towards the word try. It puts us in this state of lack, that we are not achieving, because we need to try to do this. Or and I'm still kind of pondering all of that too, but I really did resonate with that. So it's really transforming the try into this, like, instead I'm going to, or I'm aiming to. That's something I'm going to keep working on. But that was an amazing energy transfer there, getting comfortable, speaking with who knows who, watching me one-on-one's a lot easier when I know exactly who the audience is. But this was definitely out of my comfort zone, much needed. Okay. So where was I? Yes. Okay. So mid, high, mid, whatever, is that again, no shame zone. You're going to reflect. You're going to look at what you can do next time that's going to improve, you feeling more aligned with your decisions. Again, it might be helpful to work with someone. These are really challenging things to overcome. And the trauma response of addiction, for those of us that have experienced it in extreme ways, it's something else. Like, it definitely can be challenging. So it may be helpful to work with, a mentor, a program, do some meetings if that aligns with you, a coach, a therapist, a guide, whoever you feel aligned with, that might be helpful. But on the real here, though, it's like we're really just not gonna have all the answers right now, fam. Like, we're having this like very intense earth experience, and who really knows what's going on? I mean, we don't really know what's going on. We're trying our best. We're trying our best, you know? So a big thing too, you know, is I talk a lot about, you know, this different ways of healing and going deeper and, you know, and really getting to know yourselves and healing and that is all amazing and all great, but you know, let's try to have fun uh in safe ways. Let's try to make this beautiful, you know, for one another and for ourselves. Like really trying to make this experience as beautiful as possible. I mean, we don't know, you know, we don't know if we chose to be here. I love that belief system that we chose this. We chose to come be able to see mountains again. You know, we chose to come be able to love and to experience all the range of emotions that we possibly can. Yeah. All right. I got these cards ready to got them all shuffled. All right, from the Osho deck, 3 cards. All right, first card, breakthrough. It's time to look at how far you've come. It's time to look at all the amazing things that you've done. Is that if you're listening to this, fam, if you still here, if you still have a seat on this bus, you've obviously you've been in the healing journey for some time now. You've had a lot of breakthroughs, really recognizing all the successes that you've had. I mean, even today, like all the successes, even if they seem small, all the amazing things that you've done today. Second card, sharing. And sharing your gifts, however that looks to you. If it's actually sharing something physical, or if it's sharing, you know, the wisdom that you've learned throughout your journey, or if it's sharing, you know, something out of your garden, or whatever it is, if it's just rippling out loving energy everywhere you go. It's like, as a collective, we really need one another's love, one another's joy. We have enough difficulties, we have enough hardships. We don't need to add to one another's hardships. Third card, inner voice, is listen to your intuition. Really strengthen your ability to hear your internal guidance system, your internal voice. Sorry, my cat is getting a little loud. I think it's not dinner time yet, but he's elderly. He gets a little meowy. He's a sweet little sir. Yes, your inner voice is that you have the guidance within. If someone is telling you, you know, that they have it all figured out, that they know exactly what you need. Hey, buddy. What, honey? What? That they know exactly what you need for your human experience, is really just start cultivating that inner voice. If you agree with them, cool. You know, but it is time for you to really strengthen your own relationship with yourself, with your intuition. Conversations with Soul Deck. Speak your truth. Are you being quiet? Because if so, it's time to speak your truth. It's time to show up so authentic, so bold. And if you disagree with something that you say, it's okay. You can speak that out loud. You can say, hold up. Hold up. I actually disagree with myself. Let me retry that. You know, it's a good practice to speak your truth, you know, everywhere you go. And that doesn't mean to do it in any way that's harmful, but it does mean to set boundaries, but speaking up for yourself too. Speak to yourself, especially, when no one's around, like have some little conversations with yourself. Build yourself up, compliment yourself. Let's have a good time. All right. I'm going to go tend to Mr. Jasper over there. All right. Until next time. Thank you so much.